So the title for today's webinar is the COVID-19 Pandemic and the Future of Pharmaceutical Manufacturing. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce our speakers. First is Carla Luciani, who's a scientific advisor at Eli Lilly and Company. She is the executive leader of RNATX at Cambridge and develops strategy for RNA therapeutics. She has over 10 years of experience in CMC with deep technical knowledge in process development, process scale-up, batch and continuous processing from early phase to validation and commercialization. Our next speaker is Paul Collins, the Senior Director at Eli Lilly and Company. He's responsible for all API and drug product process development and commercialization for Eli Lilly, specifically in their small molecule development portfolio.
Why did you meet to discuss the future of pharmaceutical manufacturing?
Oh, yeah, I would love to answer this. So kind of the story started, I would say, at the AICHE annual meeting 2018. And that's when the inception of the idea of having this workshop started. That said, I was presenting a discussion about the future manufacturing platforms capability or innovation capability at Lilly. And I remember after that talk, I have a discussion with Paul, who is here today, with the idea of, well, let's do several workshops for PD2M. One was on advanced process control that was chaired by Tom McConnor, and then we decided to organize together with a very, very impressive set of people that was doing being the organizing committee members. So it took us a year more or less to organize this. So we kind of 2019 was the time that we meet to discuss the future of pharmaceutical manufacturing. So I wanted to kind of share a little bit about what was discussed at that time, and this is going to be my long answer. Joe, I promise that the others are going to be shorter, so we have time for everything else.
Very good.
It's a long one, but I thought it was an interesting idea to maybe share what was the spirit of this meeting at that time, and because things have happened since then, and I think some things were relevant to what we are discussing today, but also to future meetings on this topic too.
And at the workshop in November, you spoke about a tale of two pharmas. What did you mean by that?
What it probably means is that I enjoy being dramatic as I get older, Joe. And that I enjoy connecting things we do to pop culture references. But what I was thinking about when I talked about that is if you look back at the history of what I would call technical or CMC initiatives from regulatory agencies, you're going back to, say, QBD, which is the beginnings of that's even 2003 to 4, depending on how you want to count it. So it's been a long time ago. You look at that, you look at PAT, was a big initiative. You look at modeling and how we would use that. I'd say there was uptake to some degree on all of those, but I really don't believe they were fully realized, at least not in the sense that they were envisioned, I think, as you look back over time. Continuous manufacturing is one of the initiatives that I think has lived the longest and made the most traction, but I think we're at a crossroads currently.
From the small molecule side in the last meeting, so I think that this is going to be very interesting to see kind of the differences and the similarities. So yeah, so this is planned for 2021. There is a kind of a link there. I think that this is going to be a very interesting conference and I hope that most people that is calling in today kind of take note of this and try to attend or hopefully it's going to be face-to-face. We don't know that yet. Hopefully that's the case, but this is not still I think it's just a very interesting conference to attend. And
this is the first ever PD2M webinar, by the way, so you're here on a momentous day, anybody who's attended.